Hello, I'm Maximo Trinidad, Technology Evangelist for Sapient Technologies Inc. In this instructional video, we're looking at how to remotely debug a script using the Remote Script Execution Engine service application, better known as the RSEE, in Sapient's PrimalScript editor. Before we start, there's one component that needs to be running on the remote system. This is the Remote Scripts Execution Engine service application. From my client machine, I use the service control panel to connect to the remote system and verify this service application is installed and running. Open the service control panel, and from the menu, click on Action, connect to another computer. On another computer, type the remote system name and press Enter. Then we can search for the service to verify that it's running on the remote system. Now that I verified the application is running, I can proceed to remote debug the script using PrimalScript. Now that I have the script open, I choose the platform where the script will be debugged and later executed. For this script, I can either use Windows PowerShell or PowerShell 7. To start working with either breakpoints and or trace points, go to the Debug section. Now, I'm going to add 2 breakpoints to allow the debugger to stop at the marked lines. Line 27 and line 34. At the same time, I'm going to add 2 trace points to echo back the line that has been marked without stopping the debugging process. Line 24 and line 31. I'm ready to remote debug the script. To debug using the Remote Script Execution Engine, from the Home menu, go to the Debug section. Click on the arrow down next to the Go button, and from the pull-down list, select the Debug Remotely option. This option starts the script debugger on the remote system. The remote debugging prompt will open. Enter the remote computer name and press OK to continue. When the debugger starts, it will stop at the first breakpoint. At the same time, a series of debug panes are activated at the bottom of the editor. These are the console pane, the variables pane, the watch, and the call stack. I'm going back, connect to a different system, then look at these 4 debug panes. Keep in mind, although I'm using the debugger remotely, this also applies when using the debugger locally. You can customize the way PrimalScript editor look by undocking and docking back the panes anywhere inside or outside the editor. For now, I'm keeping it in the editor. This way it will enhance the debugger experience. Now, I'm at a breakpoint, so let's look at the debug console pane. The debug console pane can be used to quickly check, test, and update variables if needed. I can check what's going on in the script at the moment of the breakpoint. At the bottom of the debug console is the debug console prompt. Here's where I can type additional PowerShell commands, expressions, and check for any existing variables previously loaded before the breakpoint. Notice I have some previous debug results. I can clear it by doing right-click and select Clear Window. I'm going to stop the debugger now. I'm going to add a new line to my code. Set the breakpoint again. This time I'm going to pick the platform to be Windows PowerShell 5.1. And I'm going to do again the debug remotely. And I'm at first breakpoint. Back to the debug console prompt. I can query the name of the system where I'm debugging the script by typing hostname. I can check the values of all of my variables was loaded before the breakpoint. var1, can do var2. Now I can also change the value of the variable. So in this case, I'm going to change the value of var2 to be the admin. Changes to the variable values for the debug console prompt will get updated after the breakpoint. I can either use the step into button to continue to the next line of code, or I can use the go button to get to the next breakpoint. Results are displayed in the output pane. This will include any changes to variable values you have done. Next, the variables pane. It displays all variables and their values during the debug process. At the same time, it gives you the ability to modify current values by doing right-click on the variable name. Let's change the count limit variable value from 11 to 6. Now, in the watch pane is where I can add variables or expressions to be monitored during the debug process. In this case, I'm monitoring the do loop block of the script by adding both the count and the myCounterText variables in the watch pane. To continue, I use the step into button to go through each line in the do loop block. Then I can see the changes to the variable in the watch pane until the debugger completes executing the script. During the debug process, you can check the code stack pane. It shows where you are at the time of the breakpoint or when you're stepping through the line manually. At the end of the debug process, all output to the console will be displayed in the output pane. Also, check the debug output pane for additional information about the debug script. It's hard enough to try to click on each of the active debug panes. Remember, you can customize your environment by moving the panes around. You can remote debug the script using the Remote Script Execution Engine service on the remote system, or just use the debugger locally. Setting breakpoint markers in the code gives you the ability to stop the debugger, which helps in troubleshooting your code using the active debug panes. Finally, customizing environment will improve your debugging experience. This is the end of this instructional video. Feel free to check our 16 videos in our Sapient Technologies YouTube channel. For more information, feel free to go online and visit our Sapient Technologies products, information center, and blog pages. Thank you very much.